Welcome to Hays Post News. I'm Becky Kaiser. Hays City officials want residents and potential newcomers to know the city's water supply is not in crisis, but planning is in process for the next 10 to 15 years. The recent decision by the City Commission to pursue development of its R9 ranch in Edwards County is the most viable option for a long-term water supply, they said. Nearly 60 people attended Wednesday night's town hall meeting about the Hays water situation. Moving the R9 water 78 miles north to Hays would cost $65 million and would invoke the state's Water Transfer Act. That would be a first in Kansas, says Hays Vice Mayor Henry Schwaller.
We are looking at other resources, but right now, given what we have, this is the best that we have. And we think that given, as Mr. Byrd said, the facts, we can appeal to the state and regulators and point out that this is something that's absolutely needed. It's dire, and that we've waited a long time, and we've done the due diligence and looked at other sources. I think one thing to stress is that we will never run out of drinking water. We have sources for drinking water, but the use of it for outside pleasure, particularly watering bluegrass yards, is going to be very severely limited.
This time of year, Hays uses about 1.6 million gallons of water every day. Nearly all of that is indoor water use. In the summer, that daily figure jumps dramatically, according to City Manager Toby Doherty.
There's times in the summer it's not uncommon for us to hit 3.6, 3.8 million gallons a day. So 2 million extra gallons is being utilized outdoors, is where that water is being utilized. So yes, we may have to react to droughts, but we have plenty of water for domestic purposes. We are trying to keep the ball 10 to 15 to 20 years out as we're looking forward to make sure we don't reach that point where we're like Atlanta, Georgia, and you're 6 months away from not having drinking water. We're water for domestic uses. We're trying to keep the target way, way out there. So sometimes it's hard to keep the target out there and try to be proactive and not sound like you're being alarmist and that the end is near.
The end is not near, says longtime city attorney John Byrd. He told the audience he's comfortable with what's been going on and what's getting ready to happen.
People can move to Hays with confidence that we are a community on the High Plains that's going to have water for the next 50 to 100 years. And the Smokies part of it, the ranch is part of it, the Dakota's part of it, Big Creek is part of it. And so conservation is also a big part of that too. And so I think that all those kind of fit together. And so I guess I'm doing what Kent said don't do. I'm being a little defensive, but because I've been here and watched it happen, and I know that I feel comfortable with what's been going on and what's getting ready to happen.
Commissioners voted February 27th to move the city's drought status from a water watch to a water warning. Among the changes is a prohibition of outdoor watering between 9 a.m. and 10 p.m. Details about the water warning and the city's water conservation programs and rebates are available on the city's website. Another outbreak of fires outside of Hays Wednesday night brings the state fire marshal back to town for the second consecutive week. According to Ellis County Rural Fire Chief Dick Klaus, crews responded to 10 fires Wednesday between 5 and 9:30 p.m. 4 of the fires were northwest of Hays, 5 were southeast of Hays, and 1 fire was southwest of the city. Klaus says the fires occurred in grass, a wooded tree area, and an old granary. Tuesday afternoon, 25 acres of grass burned north of Yosemento, threatening some homes to the south. And last Friday, crews were called to 5 fires near Hays. Klaus says all the fires are under investigation. A natural cause has not been determined for any of them. Anyone with information is asked to call the Ellis County Sheriff's Office. A former Great Bend resident is arrested in Hays on an Oklahoma warrant for suspicion of stealing 23 cattle and stashing stolen property near St. John. Stafford County Sheriff Jeff Parr says a man who now has an Oklahoma address was arrested last week for theft of cattle from a county ranch. Investigators also found stolen equipment, including an RV, car trailer, and backhoe that was in a pasture. The investigation began when Oklahoma authorities found some of the cattle and a stolen trailer near Cushing, along with other equipment.
Steeder Contractors in Great Bend offers a showroom of products to help you enjoy your home. Spas, fireplaces, water purifying systems, pools and spa chemicals, and of course, Lennox heating and air conditioning systems. Along with these products, Steeders offers professional residential and commercial plumbing and electrical services. Call Steeder Contractors in Great Bend and experience the Steeder difference. Service you can depend on and prices you can trust.
Steeder is the leader. We're always here for you. Don't you sleep better knowing we never do. The service you deserve the quality you expect. Service Master Clean, Service Master of Haze. Everything we clean, satisfaction guarantee. And we clean everything with Service Master of Haze. Service Master, Service Master of Haze.
Hi, Jim Cleland, Cleland Pharmacy, Waukeeny. At the beginning of the year, it's a good time to look back the road you traveled, where you're going, where you've been, and what are you doing. We asked the computer for the 100 most popular drugs we dispensed in the year 2011 and 2013, and what did we find? We have reduced acquisition costs by 28.68%. We can lower the cost of prescriptions for you. Come in and see us. Let's talk about prescription therapy.
This is a news update from the Salina Post. The Kansas Senate's approved a proposal from the state Republican Party to make it harder for voters to switch parties before primary elections. The chamber's vote sends the bill to Governor Brownback. The House approved the measure last year. The bill prohibits voters affiliated with a political party from switching their registration between June 1st, candidates' filing deadline, until after results from the August primary are certified. Current law allows switching up to 2 weeks before the primary. Republicans said the change would protect the integrity of party contest. They said party switching allows manipulation of elections. Democrats said the bill would restrict voting rights and suggest conservative GOP lawmakers are trying to protect themselves. Brownback hasn't said whether or not he would sign the bill. Charitable raffles aren't legal in Kansas, but the state Senate has approved a proposal to allow them. The fix requires an amendment to the Kansas Constitution because it originally prohibited all forms of lotteries. The Senate voted 35-0 to adopt a proposed constitutional amendment. The action sends the measure to the House, where passage by a two-thirds majority would put the proposal on a statewide ballot in August. Approval by a simple majority of voters would add it to the Constitution. Kansas has had lottery and state-owned casinos, but they're permitted under an exception to the overall ban on lotteries. Under Kansas law, raffles are essentially private lotteries. The amendment would bar charities from contacting or other contracting with professional raffle or lottery vendors to run their games. Kansas legislators are trying to help the state's microbreweries by increasing the amount of beer they can make each year. The state Senate's approved a bill to raise the limit on manufacturing by microbreweries to 30,000 barrels of beer a year instead of 15,000 barrels over a 2-year term of their license. The chamber's 40-0 vote sends the measure to the Kansas House. Kansas has 4 microbreweries, and backers of the bill said at least 2 of them are approaching the production limits. Supporters also believe increasing the limit will encourage the growth of the state's craft brewing industry. Microbreweries can sell their beer at manufacturing sites, open restaurants, provide catering, and package their beer for sale in liquor stores. State conservationist Eric Banks in Salina has announced the extended deadline for enrollments in the Lesser Prairie Chicken Initiative for fiscal year 2014. Producers interested in participating in the program can submit applications to the Natural Resource Conservation Service, the NRCS, through April 18th. Kansas NRCS will fund this initiative through its Environmental Quality Incentives Program and provide producers an opportunity to improve the lesser prairie chicken habitat while promoting the overall health of grazing lands and the long-term sustainability of Kansas ranching. Expired or expiring Conservation Reserve Program fields in permanent cover may benefit from the lesser prairie chicken habitat and may be also eligible for funding. For more information, visit the Kansas NRCS website or contact your local USDA Service Center. This has been a news update from the Salina Post.
Thanks, Randy. For more news and lots of other information, go to our website, hayespost.com. It's available 24/7. Up next, meteorologist Dan Holliday has our weekend weather forecast. Stay tuned.
Stop! Where are we going?
The Sternberg!
Don't get left behind. We're waiting for you here at the Sternberg Museum, where there's always new opportunities for
Discovery under the dome. It's your wedding day, and all eyes are on the two of you. Show your unique style with tuxedos from Couture for Men and Women in downtown Hayes. There are hundreds of jackets and vests available to find your style. Make your tuxedo reservations before March 31st and save 10% on tuxedo rentals. And with a reservation of 5 or more, receive your groom's tuxedo rental absolutely free. Show your style and save on tuxedos from Couture for Men and Women, 12th and Main, Chestnut Street District, downtown Hayes.
Eagle Internet gives you a fast and reliable connection to the places you go online. Whether it's breaking news, sports, weather, watching the latest video on YouTube, or staying in touch with friends and family on Facebook, Eagle Internet has you covered. Save $13 each month by getting Eagle 6 Meg Internet for only $29.95. Call 877-61-EAGLE today. Eagle Communications, our community connected.
Clear and cool overnight with a low in the upper 30s, so wind switching to the northwest as a cold front comes through. Our temperature on Friday only around 61. Friday night's low 35. Then sunshine during the day on Saturday with a high in the low 60s. Another cold front coming through with a chance of rain Saturday night. From the Eagle Stormwatch Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Dan Holliday.
And that is Hayes Post News. Thanks for joining us. I'm Becky Kaiser.